Hello there.
Benjamin, how goes it? I feel like I believe you're traveling for the first time this time, and you're taking the episode from a new location now. I see your background.
Correct. I'm at my sister's place and I'm very not relaxed. I'm actually scared because there is a young cat eyeing me all the time. You cannot see this. And now it's playing with some plants. Holy cow, this is not gonna go well this episode. So yeah, if I'm suddenly disappearing, you have to take over and I have to rescue this cat or I'm getting attacked by a cat in episode 4
Exactly.
of
Exactly. I
Hello
think
Sports Tech Live.
either the cat has to be rescued or you will have to be holy cats and cows. Yeah. Okay. Episode 4. If anybody hasn't seen this format yet, where have you been? Question 2. This is where we take you through some 5 top stories in the world of sports tech. Simple as that. No, we count down from 5 to 1. And Ben, you will start us off this week.
First, let me bring up this beautiful graphic, as always. And yeah, let's cut right through it. Yeah, it's always a disadvantage if I have to present the first topic because then I have to share my screen again, but I'll get there. Yeah, our news number 5. Here you can see it, at least half of it, because Sports Pro Media is always cutting the headlines in some way. But what it basically says is that TikTok is keen on live sports streaming. Why would TikTok do something like this? Because they have successfully tested it with especially 2 things they have done in the past. Number 1 was surrounding the Super Bowl, where they had a cooperation with the NFL, and they were airing some content around the Super Bowl. And I mean, obviously, something what TikTok is really good in. They brought in some influencers, a few celebrities, people that are anyways on their platform. And surprise, surprise, it was a big success. And the other example was surrounding the X Games, where they had actual live footage from the event where the sporting action was happening. So unlike with the NFL, where they were just doing some, let's say, entertainment surrounding the Super Bowl, with the X Games, they were actually showing live footage. And for the people who are watching us and who are not listening to us on the podcast, you can see it here. The X Games streamed on TikTok gathered 1.7 million views, which I think is amazing for a social media app. I mean, you have to hold your phone the entire time and watch the X Games, but there seems to be a good match from what they showed and the TikTok audience. And also connected to that, the X Games account. Holy cow, the cat is back. It might appear on the screen soon. And Ron is laughing at the background. The X Games account on TikTok, the follower increased by almost 4 times the amount. Ron is laughing at the back. Don't do this. The guys can't see you. I'm the only one who can see you. Yeah, so long story short, the TikTok and X Games cooperation was super successful. Live sports on TikTok, which you would not have imagined before, seems to work. And we might see more of that in the future because TikTok is really thinking about doing more with the X Games, with the NFL, look into other sports as well. And I'm curious if this is going to become a thing. And before you keep laughing in the background, my friend, I think you should come to the foreground and comment on this news.
First of all, can we comment on this cat? I'm hearing so much about it. I've seen it for a brief instant. We have to bring it on camera. I'll bring my dog as well. We can do our own variation of cats and dogs. But no, coming back to the story, I think it's a cool one. It's another social media platform which is taking sports very seriously. We keep talking about Facebook and Instagram and everybody else's different strategies. We'll actually continue the story in the next story. But yeah, I think sports is becoming a key part of every social media platform strategy. No surprise to see TikTok jump in.
Sweet. Then I guess you can bring on topic number news number 4.
Yeah, exactly. We were talking about social media platforms, and one of them is this pretty cool platform called Overtime, right? Overtime is well known because they have over 40 million subscribers across their social media platforms. It's a huge platform which creates original content. And thank you, Ben, for changing my my banner. I forgot to do that. Good job. I think he's not that preoccupied with the cat. But But no, Overtime is a social media platform that is super big in the US. Like I said, 40 million people following them is no joke. In fact, we had Overtime on our North American SportsTech report a couple of years ago. So we've known Dan for a little bit. What Overtime is doing right now is that they are launching their own parallel league to the NBA. Well, actually, I shouldn't say parallel league to the NBA. They're launching their own league. But as you can see from the headline, it is for juniors. It's an alternative for people who, instead of going to college, they can join this league. Now, there are many angles to this story, and I'll take you through all of them one by one. First of all, it's been a long-standing issue with the NCAA and how student athletes monetize, right? But or don't monetize because the NCAA and the colleges make a lot of money of the athletes, but they don't get anything. So this has been a problem statement. Overtime has presented this separate league as a solution. Now, this league is pretty serious. You've already got the likes of Kevin Durant, Carmelo Anthony, and Andreessen Horowitz as investors. So again, big people backing it. And the big point is that it allows all of these kids to earn money, $100,000, a minimum of $100,000 a year, while they're also getting an education, while they're also being trained economically on, they're getting all sorts of different classes, and they're also being educated on how to empower their own personal brand. This is part of a holistic view that Overtime is taking to this story, to these athletes. And also, most importantly, it takes away the formality because there's a lot of kids who just go through high school or just do that one and done year in college, which is a thing in the US. And it gives them an option that you don't have to go to college. You can educate yourself while earning money and playing professionally and building the best chance of playing in the league soon. US is unique in that it forces everybody to go to college. All of our most European footballers, almost anywhere else in the world, nobody has to go to college. They can become professional athletes at a very young age. So I think this is an alternative. The NBA G League is another one. The NBA speaks about that, but this is another path to the NBA, which I think is really cool for the athletes to have these options. Ben, what do you think? Yay or nay? Or are you too busy with that cat?
Meow is my is my
Yeah,
answer. No, just kidding. No, it's a yay, obviously.
yeah.
But what I find most impressive, or like seeing that option unfold, is really cool. I think is that a media company, a media platform, is able to pull this off. So this, I think, is another sign or proof for how much power you have these days if you can generate eyeballs. I mean, starting as a platform that is covering sports now turns itself into a company that is running a sport. And I think that development is what amazes me the most. And yeah, all the other facts that make sense are already mentioned by you. So big yay from
Super.
my side.
I agree. I agree.
Sweet. All right, then it's my turn again, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Wonderful. So let's go to news number 3. And I did not forget to put on this caption here, like Ron did. It's the Dallas Mavericks with their owner, Mark Cuban. I mean, as you know, that guy is always on top of things. And yeah, there was more news on the Mavericks and Cuban this week. Maybe you remember a couple of weeks ago, we spoke about him launching an alternative to Clubhouse, actually. So he's involved with a startup that is also producing audio first or audio only content. And the Mavericks have been at the forefront of cryptocurrencies since I think 2 years. So they have been the first and up until today, maybe even the only club in the NBA, I'm not entirely sure, or team that has been accepting cryptocurrencies for both tickets and merchandise. And the news broke like exactly a week ago that they will also accept Dogecoin cryptocurrency for what I just said, tickets and merchandise. Why is that interesting? Because Dogecoin is a cryptocurrency that recently has seen like a big increase in value because also, again, surprise, because Elon Musk was tweeting about it. Because Elon Musk, I think, bought some Dogecoin for his kids, and then he tweeted about it, and he made sure that his kids are even richer and will have even more money than they would already have gotten when they, I think, are grown-ups. But yeah, the Mavericks at the forefront, like I said, with cryptocurrencies, they are accepting those payments since 2 years. They have a partner, BitPay, largest provider of Bitcoin cryptocurrencies. And yeah, they're accepting all the major cryptocurrencies already, but now they're expanding their portfolio also into Dogecoin. That is basically the news. Ron, would you, if you go to a Mavs game, actually use cryptocurrencies to buy something?
I don't know if I would, but I think it's brilliant. I think the fact that the Mavs have been accepting Bitcoin for a couple of years, I think you mentioned, I think that's a great way for them to accept currencies for build their own bank of Bitcoin. I mean, why not? They would have seen the price average in a ridiculous way. I think it's super forward thinking. It's also, I think, in that article, Cuban quotes it as a way just to make some publicity. Even this was like in his own words, like he
Yeah.
says that this is a good way to connect with the young audience because what is Dogecoin was a joke. It literally started as a joke, and now people are using it to buy tickets. I think really smart on his part. It's a year for me. I think you'll see more innovation like this continuously.
Cool. All right. Then, yeah, up to you. Next topic.
Next story. Okay, this is also one that I like. Let me just get this and also show the caption correctly. Okay, House of Highlights is a channel that I have enjoyed for a while, as I'm sure some of you do as too. It's run by Bleacher Report, and House of Highlights has this hypothesis where they've been saying that how do we connect with younger audiences? 18 to 34 is the holy grail, right? And they're saying it's not just about live sports on television; it's about how can we involve influencers and combine that with sports and create some interesting properties around that. Now, the general manager of Bleacher Report had an interesting quote in this article, which says that they see as much engagement on their influencer posts as they do on a post by LeBron or Steph Curry or any of these elite athletes, which is frankly a bit ridiculous. But it's true. People follow them on social media platforms in different ways. As a result of this, House of Highlights launched this challenge. It's called Showdown, where they pit influencers against each other in sporting challenges. So they had one for golf a few weeks ago, and they had one for basketball. Let me pull up this. Yeah, so that's the winner of the challenge. So that's how it's playing out. I think the video is not playing so well suddenly. Yeah, it's going to come and go perhaps. But basically, it was this Jenna Band who yeah, maybe you can see her now. But that's the girl who won it. She's an influencer who had, I think, about 150,000 followers on her channels. I don't know if you lost me for a second, but she had about 150,000 followers on her channels. She now has over 300,000. It was just a game that she was playing against influencers, shooting hoops. It's a game called Knockout. It's a pretty apparently well-known format, and they were just pitting influencers each other against each other. Now, this is a format that seems to be here to stay. Influencers competing in live sports and the social media channels creating more and more content around it. We're staying on this theme of social. This is also another example of connecting influencers to sports. A big one was any Floyd Mayweather fans will remember that there was a lot of talk and, in fact, confirmed tweets from both camps, like launched on Instagram, that he would fight Logan Paul. For people who don't know him, he's a major YouTuber, came from Wine, landed up on YouTube, what 20 million plus following, and he was the guy who was busted and brought down to shame because he posted some really not so good videos about a suicide forest in China that he visited. Anyway, long story, but he was a legit new age influencer. That's all he was, creating video content. That guy started fighting other influencers, making tons of money. He fought KSI, which I think the biggest fight that Twitch had streamed for a long time, and eventually made his way up to the ranks. That Floyd Money Mayweather, one of the greatest fighters, if not the greatest, agreed to fight him. The fight is currently cancelled, but for different reasons, and is likely to come back. I think this is a story that we will keep on giving. Ben, do you want to see more action between influencers and live sports?
It depends. I'm not super clear on this. I mean, the system seems to work, and it's entertaining. That's all you need to know. I guess that's what it's going to continue to be streamed. People are gonna watch it. Why would they change it? Would I watch it? I don't know. I don't know. It's a bit too made up, I think. Would you?
Yeah, I don't know, and I think maybe that's why we're just on the edge of that 18 to 35 generation, right? We're like just slightly on this side, on holding on with our fingernails kind of
Yeah,
situation.
man, we're old.
I don't know, but
We're
I but
old.
I did watch that Logan Paul KSI fight, and it was I could see the buzz. This is a couple of years ago now, and you could see the buzz, and it I mean it was not much of a sporting contest. These are not boxers. Like any amateur boxing fight is like a better boxing fight, but the following and the buzz it generated was real. I knew then that this would be a thing, and it keeps manifesting in different ways. But anyway, on to our top story. Let's go.
Cool. All right, let's bring it up. Our top story of the week is about a company that we already mentioned before, Whoop. And yeah, the news of the week was that Whoop employees get a sleep bonus. What is that, you might ask? Let me first um, show you this. Oh, did you hear this? The cat was almost killing the plant. Crazy. Whatever. So Whoop was communicating the Red Recovery policy, the work from home policy. And what does it refer to? It refers to Whoop employees who wake up in the morning and their recovery status is in the red area. I think that's something below 10%. Then it means that the Whoop employee should stay at home. So it means that his or her body is run down, and yeah, there is a high likeliness that you will get sick, and in the worst case, also potentially infect other employees, your colleagues. So Whoop is saying, okay, if you're using our Whoop armband, and if in the morning the status of your body is not good according to the Whoop app, you can stay at home. And in order to avoid that or to improve that, Whoop actually said, if you get enough sleep, so if you average 85% or more of your personal sleep need, then you will get an extra $100 a month to spend on whatever you spend that. So yeah, Whoop is really trying to look after the employees, encourage them to sleep enough, and to make sure that yeah, they don't feel run down, they don't feel sick. And at the beginning, you're like, okay, nice, that's nice of Whoop, it's interesting, it's cool that they do this. Maybe some people want to work even more for Whoop than they already did before. But this actually means more because it means that Whoop is actually trying to get into employee wellness, the employee wellness area. So they might have corporations with employers, with big employers, and to get that game as well. So they're not only focusing on sports, on fitness, they also want to get into the corporate world. I think that's a really cool move. And Ron, what is your take on it?
Sorry, I was super distracted by all the cat shenanigans. No, I think you summed it up. I think that's the big one for me on Whoop actually going how it's taking activity into the workspace. And now, I mean, they're setting such a fantastic precedent. How can other companies not jump on this? I think you're going to see all the big wearable devices come out with similar schemes and partners with corporates. And Whoop, who has partnerships, I think official partners, they just announced one with CrossFit. I think they've already had ones with NFL and with the PGA and stuff. And now they're moving out of sports into the workspace. I think it's a brilliant move.
Cool, I agree. Sweet, that was our top news of the week, actually. And this is not the end of our today's episode because we have two more things. What we also show you, yeah, what we also show you is, and Ron is going to do that in a second, an app that we tested last week. You know, we not only have this show every week, but we also publish one video per week on our YouTube channel where we actually show you interesting products or apps in that case. So Ron, why don't you show it to our followers?
Absolutely. Let me just set up the video. Right. So the product that I reviewed last week was this company called Active Giving, which I don't know why my videos, it seems, are not playing so well. Yeah, I think now it should should be okay. Yeah, active giving. Just quickly about this is a product that that basically when you're running, I think the video's taking a bit to load. But every time you run, you can connect to some sort of social cause. Through their app, you can find different social causes. Yeah, it's running over here. I don't know why it's not running on the street. There we go. Anyway, so as you're running, you connect to social causes, and you can choose to donate through to the WWF, to some reforestation activities, to the farmers, to different elements. And you don't have to do anything else. For every kilometer, every stride you run, the active giving team will either plant a tree or they will donate 1 cent to the WWF. In my case, that was the one that I chose. Why I find it super interesting? I mean, literally, you don't have to do a thing. You just have to run whatever fitness activity that you do. And everything's playing now. But whatever fitness activity that you do, these guys will do something good for the environment on your behalf. And how they do this is they have corporate partners or sponsors who they work with, who will fund these activities. It's a good CSR initiative for them, and for us as the athlete, as the runner. You just feel good. I have to say, when I did it, I think I ran a simple 5K, my Saturday 5K, and I think there was like $20 or something like that, if I remember correctly, that actually went to the WWF on my behalf. Pretty cool, if you ask me. Ben, you want to do some social good as you run?
Yes, and as the cat has officially killed one of the plants on the table, I'm not joking. I think I have to plant at least one flower somewhere. Not an entire tree, but a flower. And yeah, I'm still a bit scared. No, I mean, super cool app, and who wouldn't do it? I mean, if you're running anyways, and if you can do something good with this, why wouldn't you do it? So I really hope that we can contribute a little bit by making this app a bit more popular, even more popular, and support Laurent and his team in this. So yeah, double thumbs up for this.
Sounds good.
Sweet. All right. We always have one extra topic where we say, hey, this is a cool, interesting, funny, odd finding. And I'm gonna bring. Are you looking forward to this?
I am. This one I like.
You're clapping already. Okay, because it was India as well, by the way. Okay, let me bring it up. So, yeah, we stumbled upon this article in The Guardian. What it basically is about is that there are more and more people who actually, out of pure joy, are analyzing games and players on social media. Like this one guy, 17-year-old guy in Bangalore, where Ron is at the moment, who get actually hired by professional teams to work in their staff as, I don't know, consultants, analysts, or yeah, whatever they want to call that role, which is pretty amazing because the teams have realized that there's so much data out there that can actually be one keeps changing my caption here. So much data out there that can be analyzed by people out there that they don't necessarily need the people they have on board, but they can connect to people who do this out of joy and pay them probably little money. And yeah, there's a bunch of interesting stories out there how people got from, I don't know, just doing this out of fun because they have an interest in the sport, they just want to speak about it, who actually secured a job for themselves that way. And yeah, that is our, let's say, +1 story of the week. Ron, why do you keep changing my caption, and what is your take on this?
I think the caption thing, there was an issue with showing a different caption for me. But anyway, coming to the story, I think it's just another cool development. Actually finding a job through these scouts, basically them creating content and putting original, interesting content out there, and teams reaching out to them because of that. I mean, what better way to find a job? You're just doing something that you love, and somebody else finds what you love interesting and gives you a job for it. I think that's really cool. And this kind of stuff we see in other industries happening a lot. We've seen this in fintech, especially. A lot of analysts would put up material on their social media accounts and get picked up by trading firms because they seem to have a good eye on the market. And now for it to be happening in sports, yeah, that's a win.
So, I mean, you're talking a lot about Manchester United when we talk. So do you think there's a chance that when you put out some content out there that you get hired, actually?
I think that's the strategy. I think I should write a book. No, write a book is too much. That's not the idea. But start creating a lot of content about Manchester United, dedicated to them, and tell them why what they are doing. Ollie, who I love, by the way, full in support. Anybody who's hating that Ollie's behind the wheel, get out of my way. But no, I think this is a really good plan, Ben. You've seeded a fantastic idea in my head.
Go for it, but still make sure that you got enough time for Hello SportsTech and SportsTech X. All right, guys.
I'll be here every Thursday.
We talked about TikTok. We talked about overtime, the Mavericks, House of Highlights, Voop, active giving, and becoming securing a job on social media. That was episode number 4 of Hello SportsTech Live every Thursday. Anything to add, Ron?
No, that's it for me.
Just a little heads up. Ron is going to be back in Berlin next week, right? So your background is going to change.
Yes, exactly. That'll be the 4th city that I'm doing this show from, and maybe there'll be a run. Yeah, no, I have a long flight which kicks off late tomorrow night, so I should be in Berlin for the weekend. A lot of quarantine to do, but I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to be back home.
Sounds good. All right, it's getting dark here. When I started the show, it was bright. Now you can hardly see me. We are done for the day. Thanks for everyone.
Did the cat rob the light as well? Is that what happened?
No, it's literally here. Let me see for them. See, there is the cat.
Yeah, where is the cat?
Hi. I was not joking.
Hi.
Yeah, I was lucky that it didn't do anything. All right, guys, that's it. Have a good one. Yeah. Cheers.